Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mary Wallace, and I'm with Schuler Bauer Real Estate Services, and we are live for Real Minutes with Mary. And today, I'm delighted to spend a few minutes with Floyd County's Sheriff Frank Loop. So, thank you, Sheriff Loop, for letting me come and hang out for the next few minutes and just talk to you a little bit about Floyd County and your time spent here as sheriff. So, without further ado, tell me what you love about living and working in Floyd County.
Well, thanks for coming and visit me, Mary, and it's my pleasure. Floyd County is a great neighborhood, and the good things about it is we're the bedroom community for Louisville, and so you can find just about everything in that bedroom community you want. We're a suburban agency and a suburban neighborhoods, so you have all the advantages of a big city. Not very far away, and you have all of getting away from that, not very far away from when you come home.
Yeah. And again, especially being right here by the bridge, like you said, it's just so close to Louisville. But New Albany has a lot to offer as well. I mean, we certainly saw the best of it with Harvest Homecoming this last weekend, didn't we?
We certainly attracted many, and just as Jeffersonville is growing, New Albany is growing, and actually the whole three cities across on the Indiana side have been growing dramatically, and so it's a good place to live, and you can spend your non-work time on this side of the river and go to work in Louisville, and you have the airport and Madison and things like that over there as well.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, tell me a little bit about your background. What were you doing before you became Floyd County Sheriff?
Well, I've worked here at the Sheriff's Department for 36 years.
Wow.
So I've pretty much been here. I started here on the payroll when I was 22 years old. So I've pretty much had this as my adult life working here. And I've been sheriff for 4 years. So prior to me coming here right out of high school, I started working on an ambulance until I was old enough to come to work for the Sheriff's Department.
Wow. So law enforcement has definitely been your lifeblood and certainly your passion for many years.
Well, I've certainly done it for many years. I kind of fell into it and fell in love with it, and look forward to getting up every day and coming to the work.
You like putting that star on every day,
Yeah,
right?
I do, yes.
Well, tell me, since becoming sheriff in the last 4 years, what would you say that your leadership, the biggest impact your leadership has had in these last few years?
Well, I think the biggest impact that my leadership has is that I surround myself with great people that are qualified, and we all have the same common goal that we want to keep the Floyd County Sheriff's Department moving forward in a professional manner. And in order to do that, you have to have integrity in hiring and integrity in training. And we do a lot of training on leadership, supervision, and things like that, so that we treat our employees the best that we can.
That's good. So not only do you find it a great place to work, but that of your staff as well find it as a great place to come to work.
They seem to be very happy. When I first got elected sheriff, I lost half of my staff, which was pretty common because of the pay. But we've worked hard with the county to get our pay up where it belongs so people can make a decent living. And then we invest in our employees with education, and that's made them stay. And now if we lost out of 120, if I lost 5 to 10 in a year, that would be surprising.
Well, that's good. That's good. Good track record. Is if there are available positions within the sheriff's department, or if the sheriff's department has openings, how do people find out about that?
Well, we do have openings on a regular basis because we're growing. So I've hired 10 police officers in the last 12 months, wow. And I've also hired 10 correction officers during that period. But we're in the process right now hiring additional correction officers because we're expanding. So if you want to apply to our agency, you just go to the Floyd County Sheriff's Department website, and the application's on there, and all the information that you need's on there as well.
That's great. So for the upcoming next 4 years, what is your target, or what would be the leadership's maybe greatest focus in coming into the next 4 years as sheriff?
Well, in the next 4 years, my goals are to continue the professionalism of the department through continued training and education. You never can get enough of that. The way
That's
things
true.
change on
That's
a regular basis, and if you have to think about technology has changed dramatically since I came here. We started when I first came here with an old Royal manual typewriter, and here we are now using tablets, and much of our world is full of technology. So that's an ever-reaching goal for us to stay on top of. And then we also want to expand out into the community more and work on some of those issues that drive the most complaints. And you can go to any community and stand in a subdivision or stand in somebody's living room, and they're going to complain about traffic in their neighborhood. They're going to complain about people running stop signs. They're going to complain about drug traffic. And those are the things that I want to focus on in the next 4 years, is to try to be more responsive to the community's concerns. Now that we have enough people to do that, and I can dedicate some people to do that. So that should make the public a lot happier.
That's good. I can certainly shake my head to the people running stop signs in neighborhoods.
Sure.
So, I mean, you kind of segued into the next question. I know you've been out canvassing in neighborhoods and knocking on doors and talking to the community. And again, would you say that is pretty much the number one thing that they're talking about, is just, again, more presence to...
Well, when we're out talking to people, one of the things that I do hear is positive comments about the professionalism of the officers and how willing they are to help. And our attitude is that we want to show up and say, what can we do to help? And then try to take the steps to do that. Most of our job is public service. It's not so much criminal work. And so because we live in such a great community, our crime's not that high. So we need to concentrate on giving people the service that they want. But then other than that, I hear people say we appreciate the extra patrols. We appreciate seeing a police officer patrolling, and they feel free to talk to those officers and then identify the problems in their neighborhood so the officers are aware of them. Generally, once we become aware of a problem, we can work on it and we can get that solved pretty quickly. That's
good to know. Well, and I know that you in your career of law enforcement and so many of the officers have seen just about everything, the good, bad, and the ugly. Give us some helpful tips, ideas, just kind of general safety tips for not only our driving, but also in our homes. I don't think any one of us ever expect on any given day to find ourselves in the middle of a situation that might be crime related or might just be unsafe. But sometimes we're just not mindful of those things. I know I'm not mindful of those things all the time, and every time I'll just have a moment and say, Mary, that was kind of really silly. So just kind of give us, a little checklist, or kind of help get in our brain just some general safety tips when we know we're getting on the road, or when we're going home after work late at night or on the weekends. Just put some safety tips in our mind.
And I'm glad you asked, because we work just in Floyd County, we work over 2,000 crashes a year. And not all those are people injured, but they all have the potential to have people injured. And it just doesn't take much of a crash to raise your insurance rates and keep the body shops in business. and that type of thing. So the biggest thing that we try to tell people, and we've just started a new campaign on driving safely, is we need people to concentrate on their driving and stop the distracted driving. Mm-hmm. And so our new campaign of get your head out of your app and drive safely, we're hoping that's catchy enough to get people's attention, to put the phone down, pay attention to where they're going, what they're doing. Years ago it used to be people would have a crash because they would be reaching down in the car or they'd be messing with the radio. Well, now today they've got a phone, they've got kids in the car, they've got all these things to distract them, and the cars are easier to drive. And now you can get a car that'll drive by itself. So, we want to concentrate on where you're going and stop the distracted driving. In our homes, one of the things that we find, and we are a residential community, we're suburban, so we make a lot of property theft cases. And that is because people leave their cars unlocked, they leave valuables in their cars in their driveway, they leave their garage doors open. Our burglaries aren't that high, but the thefts from those easy opportunities are high. Mm-hmm. So if you leave your garage door open, somebody can walk by, grab something out of your garage and keep going. And generally at nighttime, if you leave your car in your driveway and it's unlocked, somebody's going to get in it and clean out your change that you've got in there or whatever else you've left in there. And we see people leave purses, backpacks, computers, guns in their car all the time, and the doors are unlocked. So those areas there are probably the most important.
Well, and I would venture to guess, because we're so quickly approaching the holidays, that locking our cars wherever we go really needs to be top of mind. So again, as we're approaching these holidays, is there something that we could do to tangibly just say, open our eyes, pay attention to what's going on around us, and what tips can we take away from just, again, being more mindful and less distracted?
Well, one of the things that happens during the holidays is we all become busier. Yeah. And so now there's another distraction that we're trying to get to places, we're trying to get things done, and we've got a lot of things on our mind. And that was on top of the distracted driving. So, I tell people, let's take a deep breath, plan your trips, get it, written down if you have to, not on your phone, but write it down so you know where you're going, when you got to be there. And keep in mind the holidays are also stressful for not only the family, but they're stressful for every place that you go and visit. In the stores, those employees are stressed out because it's busier. And so try to have some patience. And if you have patience on the road, that's going to help. There's a lot of people out there that are driving around angry. I don't know what about, but they are. And then you want to make sure that you have that patience when you're out there shopping or you're on the road, and give the other guy a break, and that's going to help. That's going to go a long ways. We won't see so much road rage that way. And if you're in your house, one of the things is there's an increased package deliveries now for the holidays.
Yes.
So we encourage you to either have it delivered to a safer place, whether that be a friend's house, a relative's house, in a business that does that for their business. But have it delivered there. Maybe you could have it delivered, depending on the delivery person, to the back porch instead of the front porch, those type of things. Because the bad guys know when the FedEx or UPS or Amazon, they know when they're coming. They come through your neighborhood same time every day. And so they know when they're coming, so they can just sit down the road, wait for the person to stop, and then go pick it up off your porch. Yeah. So that's one of the things that we recommend.
Awesome. Well, I think we're just about out of time, but I want to say thank you again very much for your time and for letting me come down here. Thank you to all of you that have listened in. And as an agent for Schuler Bauer Real Estate Services, if you are looking to move into this community, certainly I would love to help you find the perfect place for you to call home here in Floyd County. You can reach me by calling 812-416-0527. And if you have any questions for our Floyd County Sheriff, you can reach him and ask him questions by calling
812-948-5400.
Awesome. Well, thank you again.
Thanks.
You all have a great day. You've been live with Mary Wallace, real minutes, real time, real people, real information. Have a great day.